Let's talk about real life issues, love and relationships. Let's have a good time with the missus. Let's talk about celebrities. Let's talk about caring events. Let's talk about things you don't see on regular TV. So join in on Time. Peachy Tea Time. Tune in on Peachy Tea Time. Peachy Tea Time. Come join us on Peachy Tea Time. Peachy Tea Time. Join us on Peachy Tea Time. Peachy Tea Time. Yeah.
Hi everyone, it's me, the Mrs., and I am back in the building. But guess what we gonna do? Y'all already know. For everybody in the back, we're gonna run this back one more again. Here we go.
Let's talk about real life issues, love and relationships. Let's have a good time with the missus. Let's talk about celebrities. Let's talk about caring events. Let's talk about things you don't see on regular TV. So join in on Tea Time. Peachy Tea Time. Tune in on Peachy Tea Time. Peachy Tea Time. Come join us on Peachy Tea Time. Peachy Tea Time. Join us on Peachy Tea Time. Peachy Tea Time. Yeah.
Hello. Hey, Peaches and Mr. Peachtus. What's going on? My name is the Mrs. and welcome to Peachy Tea Time. Let me put my little sign up, my little banner. Welcome. But yes, we have such a great show for you all tonight. Yes, we do. Let me get my bye-bye hat ready. Bye-bye. Do we have a show tonight? Oh my goodness. When I tell you, I did a lot of research on this. I really did. It was very, very touching, I must add. But I must also add that this is my element. Peachy News. I love Wednesdays. I love Peachy News. I mean, Peachy News is everything to me. Everything. When I mean that, when I say that, I mean it. I've been watching news and First 48, Cops, Audit, A&E channel, ever since I was a little girl. So when I tell you this is my element, this is my element. So like I said, I did a lot of research and put them peaches in the comments. You know, we always got to make sure we say that. We're still waiting on some people to come on up in here. We're still waiting on some people to come on up in here. So with that being said, y'all, you want to run it back one more again? Let's just run it back, just for old time's sakes. For old time's sakes, we're gonna run it back one more again.
Let's talk about real life issues, love and relationships. Let's have a good time with the missus. Let's talk about celebrities. Let's talk about caring events. Let's talk about things you don't see on regular TV. So join in on Tea Time. Peachy Tea Time. Tune in on Peachy Tea Time. Peachy Tea Time. Come join us on Peachy Tea Time. Peachy Tea Time. Join us on Peachy Tea Time. Peachy Tea Time. Yeah.
All right, I am back. Hey, Josette. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it, girl. All right, we finna get started. We finna go on ahead and get started tonight. Like I said, we have quite a bit tonight. It is a little touching, but at the same time, it's stuff that I feel like I need to bring to the forefront. And so that's basically what it's all about on Wednesdays. Peachy News, which is all about news, things that's going on in our community, that's not in our community, that's going on, all around the world, basically, all around the world. So with that being said, we got to get started with our talent, okay? So, and we got a good talent tonight. Everything is going in order. Yes, yes, yes. So I really hope you guys enjoyed the talent for tonight. He did his thing. I must say he did his thing. And we're going to go ahead and get started. And like I said, everything is lined up, in order and everything. So here we go. This is going to be different, a little different tonight. It's going to be a little different. But I'm sure you guys will appreciate all the hard work I put into this tonight. All right, here we go.
Lift every voice and sing to earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the roaring sea. Sing, 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 sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
He did a great job. Oh my gosh. When I heard this, I was like, oh, this boy can sing. It did a rendition of it and everything. I mean, he really did his thing. I really appreciate him for that. I really hope you all enjoyed it. I really do. I know I enjoyed it. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to get started. And like I said, it is going to be a little different tonight, but you're definitely going to enjoy it. I will say that. So here we go. Let's get started.
The white man pays Reverend Martin Luther King, subsidizes Reverend Martin Luther King, so that Reverend Martin Luther King can continue to teach the Negroes to be defenseless. That's what you mean by nonviolence. Be defenseless. Be defenseless in the face of one of the most cruel beasts that has ever taken the people into captivity. That's this American white man. And they have proved it throughout the country by the police dogs and the police clubs. 100 years ago, they used to put on a white sheet and use a bloodhound against Negroes. Today, they have taken off the white sheet and put on police uniforms. They've traded in the bloodhounds for police dogs, and they're still doing the same thing.
All right. That was Brother Malcolm. I'm just saying, I'm just the deliverer. That's it. I'm just the deliverer. I feel like it's some truth to it. I do feel that way. I do like the part when he said that they just traded in the white sheets for the police suits and the bloodhounds for the police dogs. It all made sense. That's what I'm going to say. It all made sense. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. And the next clip, this story is going to be about two people. we always got a little bit extra, but the whole topic is about Ronald Greene and also Rakia Young. Okay. Ronald Greene was deceased. So to all his family, my heart goes out to you and prayers will be with you. But yeah, he's deceased and at the hands of the police officer. But at the same time, it was strange. It was something that I had never, ever heard of as far as it coming out to the forefront like this. Knocked me off my feet. Now, I will say this. This is going to be the longest clip that we have tonight. But I just couldn't break it down. This right here needed to be played from the beginning to the end. And once you see it, you will understand why. So I'm going to go ahead and play it. And let me get it up. And here we go.
In a couple of minutes that many people will find hard to watch. I certainly did. But when this story broke today, even though there are stories of this type that seem like they break all the time, this one in particular just seemed to stop the news in its tracks. Certainly for everybody who works on this show, it stopped us all in our tracks. Just kind of, you can't really move on once you've seen something like this. What this is about is something that happened in Louisiana just over 2 years ago. And in West Monroe, Louisiana, there's a hospital there called Glenwood Regional Medical Center. And that night, May 10th in 2019, the emergency room at that hospital received an ambulance. And the ambulance held a 49-year-old man who was handcuffed to a gurney. He was already deceased when the ambulance pulled into Glenwood Regional Medical Center and they wheeled him into the ER. The ambulance was accompanied by Louisiana State Police. And the police that night told the emergency room doctor who was attending this ambulance that the man who was dead in the ambulance had died on impact when he crashed his car into a tree. That was the explanation for why this man was dead when he arrived at the ER. And the doctor examined the body, examined the man who'd been brought in the ambulance, noted in his doctor's notes that the man was covered in blood and covered in bruises. But he also noted that the man had 2 taser prongs hanging out of his back. Wait a minute. This is supposedly a car crash casualty. What? They're saying he crashed into a tree, died on impact. What, did the tree tase him after he hit it? The ER doctor noted all this in his notes and actually wrote in his notes that night, he wrote, quote, does not add up. Because, right, it did not add up. And yet that really was the official explanation that Louisiana State Police tried to go with for how a 49-year-old barber from in West Monroe, Louisiana, a man named Ronald Greene, that's the story they tried to tell about how he died that night. Louisiana State Police told Mr. Greene's family that he died when he crashed his car during a chase. Troopers said they tried to pull him over for some sort of unspecified traffic violation shortly after midnight, about 30 miles south of the Arkansas state line outside Monroe. They said he died on impact when he crashed into a tree. It took the ER doctor pointing out the freaking taser prongs still hanging out of his back. It took Mr. Greene's family filing a wrongful death suit for police to admit that, yes, okay, something else might have happened. No, they can't come up with an explanation for how the tree fired those taser prongs into him. Police released a 1-page new report with a new explanation that said, quote, Greene was taken into custody after resisting arrest and a struggle with troopers. And then inexplicably, he became, quote, unresponsive. He became unresponsive and died on his way to the hospital. The report did not describe any use of force by the troopers in this instance. And that was literally all the Louisiana State Police said about the death of Ronald Greene. That's all they have ever said. To this day, more than 2 years later, the Louisiana State Police have still given no further explanation of Ronald Greene's death in their custody. And crucially, for all of this time, they have refused to release the troopers' body camera footage from that night. It took 474 days after Mr. Greene died for the state police to even open an internal investigation into what happened. And that was only when their hand was forced. Summer of protests over the police murder of George Floyd in Minneapolis had put the spotlight back on cases like Mr. Greene's. perhaps more presciently, in terms of seeing what impact it might have, Mr. Greene's family also took the radical step of releasing graphic photos to the public in an effort to demonstrate to the public that the police explanation of what killed Ronald Greene was a ridiculous explanation. They released photos of the condition of the body when they received it. They showed deep bruises, deep cuts to Ronald Greene's face and scalp. They also showed his vehicle. They released a photo of his vehicle. It's the car he'd been driving the night that he died, showed that the car was only mildly damaged. The airbags hadn't deployed. This was not a car that had been involved in a major crash that had mortally wounded its driver. In the midst of all of this, the Justice Department announced that it had opened a civil rights investigation into Ronald Greene's death. Can you imagine how bad a case has to look for the Trump Justice Department to open a civil rights investigation? Really? Did they even do that? And still, the Louisiana State Police would not say anything else about Ronald Greene's death, wouldn't release the body cam footage, wouldn't afford any further explanation of what happened. Last September, they finally decided to fire one of the officers that was involved in Mr. Greene's death, although they would not say why they were firing him. Tragically, that officer died in a single vehicle car crash just hours after he was told that he was fired. Days later, the Associated Press obtained audio of that same officer describing how he beat and choked Ronald Greene the night of his death. On a recording from his body cam microphone, that officer who was in the one car crash, was heard telling somebody very matter-of-factly that he, quote, beat the ever-living F out of Ronald Greene. He said, quote, choked him and everything else. He was spitting blood everywhere, and all of a sudden he just went limp. After that horrifying reporting, Ronald Greene's family was finally, after a year and a half, allowed to see the body cam footage from the night that he died. The family's attorney said that Mr. Greene's mother and sister wailed like they were at a funeral when they finally saw the footage. He said it was damning footage that showed the troopers choking and beating Ronald Greene, repeatedly jolting him with tasers, dragging him face down across the pavement. That attorney, Lee Merritt, who also watched the footage, told the Associated Press, quote, this family has been lied to the entire time about what happened. The video was very difficult to watch. It's one of those videos like George Floyd and even Ahmaud Arbery, where it is just so graphic. Well, today what happened is that today we learned to our collective horror that the attorney for the Greene family was right when he described it that way. Because today the Associated Press obtained and published edited excerpts from the Louisiana State Troopers body cam footage from the night that Ronald Greene died. And I will tell you that this stopped the news today for a reason. I'm going to show you some of what the AP published today. As I said, it is not a pleasure to watch. That is a grave understatement. It is disturbing to watch. And the nightmarish nature of the video of this incident is compounded by how long all of this was kept secret, how blatantly state troopers lied about what really happened. There is something even worse about the fact that we are only seeing this footage now more than 2 years after the fact. And not because the police finally decided to release it, but because a dogged reporter from the Associated Press was finally able to get it. And that's the only reason it has come out. Again, it is more than 2 years after this happened, and they have had this all the time. So here's the first bit of video we're going to play tonight. This is when police approach Ronald Greene's car. They have been chasing him. This is the chase has come to an end. I'll tell you again, this footage is excerpted and edited by the Associated Press. We don't have the raw tape. The full footage they obtained is 46 minutes long. They say there's long stretches where Mr. Greene is not on camera. The trooper whose body camera footage it is appears to cut the microphone off about halfway through. That makes it hard to discern what's going on in some moments. We don't have footage from other troopers at the scene. The AP itself is cautioning that it can be difficult to piece together what's happening at all times. But in some of it, it's clear. Like in this clip where police first approach Ronald Greene's car, it certainly appears that he is not resisting and in fact is pleading with the troopers.
Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands, mother. Come here, mother. Okay. Oh, Lord Jesus. Oh, get him. I'm scared. I'm your brother. I'm scared.
It says at the end there, officer, I'm scared. I'm your brother. I'm scared. We also have another portion of the body cam video after the troopers get Mr. Greene out of the car. And you'll see Mr. Greene on the ground here, appearing pretty motionless, while an officer tases him again. The officer then handcuffs him. Mr. Greene is clearly bloodied at this point. The officers, part of the reason we can confirm that is that the officers are commenting about the amount of his blood that they've got on them and the fact that they are wiping it off themselves.
Sir, get on the ground! Get on the ground! Taser, taser, taser. Make sure he is rolling. Oh! Get up here! Get that door! Oh, you're all over. Oh, this guy ain't got AIDS. Oh.
The AP tonight has posted one other portion of the video. This portion doesn't have sound. We believe what happened here is the trooper turned off the microphone on his body cam, but you can see here Ronald Greene handcuffed on the ground. The AP reports that later, after a several-minute stretch in which Ronald Greene is not seen on camera, he appears again limp, unresponsive, bleeding from his head, bleeding from his face. He's then loaded onto an ambulance gurney. His arm is cuffed to the bed rail. But here what you will see is an officer putting leg shackles on him. And then I'm not going to show you this part, but what you can see in part of this video is the officer dragging Mr. Greene by those leg shackles across the ground face down. Again, his handcuffs are on him behind his back. His legs are shackled. He is face down and limp, and they are dragging him by the leg shackles face down across the ground. Now, the Louisiana State Police tonight would not comment on the content of these videos, except to say that the release of the video was not authorized. Yeah, tell us about it. They said the release of these videos, quote, undermines the investigative process. Yes, how is that investigative process going? Well, the officer who dragged Ronald Greene on his face by his leg shackles, he was suspended from duty for 50 hours for that offense. 50 hours. Another of the troopers is now on unpaid leave, but not for Ronald Greene's death. He and several other troopers from the same unit were arrested a few months ago for beating up other black men in their custody. They were also discovered to be bragging to each other over text messages about the violence they have inflicted on black men they have arrested. But there's also the federal investigation into Ronald Greene's death. There's also his family's lawsuit against the state police.
Hold on. Hey, y'all. I know what was going on. I actually pulled this one up a different way. But that video to me was everything. It was everything. And, you know, I hated for it to be so long. But when I tell you, it was well worth it. It was well worth it. Now I'm trying to figure out how to get her down. Let me see. I don't know how to get her down. Once I pull up the next clip, maybe she'll fall down. I don't know. But she did an outstanding job. Shout out to MSNBC. She did an outstanding job on this. This reporter did. And when I tell you it was so heartbreaking seeing this man go through that. For him to be screaming, I'm sorry. And when he said, you're my brother. Oh, that did it for me. That did it for me. That did it for me. Hey, Julie. Thanks for coming, boo. But yeah, that did it for me. I was like, OMG. That was sad. And it's like they didn't even care. And I do have the clip with the officer as well when he was bragging, saying that he choked the F out of him, the fuck out of him. That's what he said. And I do have that clip just as well. But, you know, I think we only had like a couple people in here when I played this Malcolm X. So I want to go back and play that again, and then we'll go into the next clip with Ronald. Hey, Nicole. So let me play this again for everybody that just joined us, because to me, this was very, very important. And Josette, I know you agree with me when I say that Malcolm X was very important that I just played. It's not as long as what we just played. That was the longest video. So here we go.
The white man pays Reverend Martin Luther King, subsidizes Reverend Martin Luther King, so that Reverend Martin Luther King can continue to teach the Negroes to be defenseless. That's what you mean by nonviolence. Be defenseless. Be defenseless in the face of one of the most cruel beasts that has ever taken the people into captivity. That's this American white man. And they have proved it throughout the country by the police dogs and the police clubs. 100 years ago, they used to...
Let me play it one more time, y'all. I'm sorry. I had to take the background out.
The white man pays Reverend Martin Luther King, subsidizes Reverend Martin Luther King, so that Reverend Martin Luther King can continue to teach the Negroes to be defenseless. That's what you mean by nonviolence. Be defenseless. Be defenseless in the face of one of the most cruel beasts that has ever taken the people into captivity. That's this American white man. And they have proved it throughout the country by the police dogs and the police clubs. 100 years ago, they used to put on a white sheet and use a bloodhound against Negroes. Today, they have taken off the white sheet and put on police uniforms. They've traded in the bloodhounds for police dogs, and they're still doing the same thing.
All right. They still doing the same thing. You know, they took off the white sheets. We all know what the white sheets was. Took them off and put on the police uniforms. Got rid of the bloodhounds. And what they get? Them damn dogs. That's what they got, them dogs. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and get into the next clip. And another Ronald Greene. This is a news broadcast. So here we go.
Well, tonight there's outrage over some disturbing body cam video from Louisiana. It shows the violent arrest of a man who later died after an encounter with police. And the big question tonight, were officers trying to cover up what happened? Here's CBS's Janet Shamlian.
That's the voice of Ronald Greene apologizing after leading Louisiana state troopers on a high-speed chase.
I'm so scared. I'm just scared. Get out of the
After he stopped, a trooper tases him, and he's pulled from the car.
Taser. Push your hands.
The 2019 video, newly obtained by the Associated Press, shows Greene beaten, kicked,
You're about to get it again.
and repeatedly tased by one of 7 white officers on the scene. The 49-year-old was also dragged briefly by his shackled ankles. The AP says Greene was then left face down for more than 9 minutes.
When you first saw this video, what did you think?
I thought it was a murder.
Tonight, CBS News is hearing from Greene's mother, Mona Hardin, who first saw the video last fall.
No one is above the law. But it seems like they continue to dance this out to where they wanted to just go away.
Hardin says state police initially claimed her son died from injuries in the car crash that ended the chase, later changing the story, acknowledging there was a struggle and saying Greene died en route to the hospital. Lee Merritt has filed a wrongful death suit on the family's behalf.
These men not only had to do this terrible thing, they then had to falsify reports.
I'm scared.
The Justice Department has opened a criminal investigation, and the FBI is also involved.
I'm back. Now, Josette, you've been here since the beginning of the show, and I know you listening to these clips. Now, did you notice that the news broadcast never mentioned what the other lady mentioned, which was the part that the police brought the man to the hospital and told the doctor, left all that out, Josette, and everybody else, left all that out, that they actually brought him to the hospital, and when they dropped him off, they told the doctor that this man got into a car crash. Okay? Told the doctor that he got into a car crash and he died on impact. When the doctor checked him out to see what was going on, Excuse me, y'all know I get the bourbon when I get drinking. But when the doctor checked him out, the doctor like, something ain't adding up right. Why do this man have the taser prongs sticking out of his back? So they done took the man down there with the prongs sticking out his back and everything. And no, they were just going to leave it just like that. By 7 white police. Why so many for one black man? Exactly. Oh, Josette, you ain't seen nothing yet, baby. Wait till we get to Miss Rakia's story. And thank God she lived to tell her story. Which if she didn't live, guess what? They got it on tape. And we was gonna see it. Excuse me. What's up, MP? MP in the building. Hey, boo. Mr. Pista. But yes, y'all, they sat there and told a bold-faced lie. So just imagine, for them to feel so comfortable about doing this, how many more people they done dropped off like this. It's crazy. Went to the mama and told the mama. Went to the mama and told the mama that her son got killed in a car crash. He was on a high-speed chase. So that part is accurate. We just don't see that part. But they say it's accurate. But he was on a high-speed chase, and he wouldn't stop. He wouldn't pull over. He ended up running a red light, and that's why they was after him. From what they say, that's why they was after him. And they ended up crashing. But as you guys saw the car, it wasn't that bad like that. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that. But he still would have lived. And y'all saw how he was when he was trying to come out of the car. He was full alert. Knew what was going on. Nicole said they didn't take the prongs out because they expect the doctor not to question the authority as police said. Exactly. In other words, Nicole, they didn't give a damn. They didn't care. They didn't expect to get caught. They can care less. Yes, the car was hardly damaged, Josette. I mean, from the way that this man, don't worry, we got a clip of that too, of what he looked like. So let's go ahead and get into that right quick. Did we play this one? I think we played this one. Okay, here we go. Now, this is the timeline just as well. The timeline, y'all. So make sure y'all pay attention to the timeline. And here we go.
He died in Louisiana State Police custody. The public is only now starting to learn what really happened to Ronald Greene in May 2019. So why did it take the public so long to see the body camera video? And what led up to this moment? We're taking a closer look at the timeline.
I'm your brother. I'm scared. Get out of the car.
It's taken 2 years for the brutal beating and death of Ronald Greene in Louisiana State Police custody to come into focus. He led police on a high-speed chase on May 10th, 2019, was pulled from his car, beaten, tased, dragged, and did not survive. Troopers reported Greene died in a car crash and did not release body camera video.
The way it happened, he didn't stand a chance. Roddy didn't stand a chance.
But it wasn't until May of 2020 that Greene's family filed a wrongful death suit, alleging state troopers brutalized Greene and left him, quote, beaten, bloodied, and in cardiac arrest. August 25th, 474 days after Greene's death, state police opened an internal investigation. A few weeks later, September 9th, Trooper Chris Hollingsworth, who turned off his camera during Greene's arrest, is placed on leave. September 14th, 2020, 16 months after Greene's death, the Associated Press reports the FBI and Department of Justice are looking into civil rights violations. A few days later, photos of Greene's autopsy leak showing deep bruises but minor damage to his car, casting doubt on LSP's claim that Greene died in a crash. In late September, Trooper Chris Hollingsworth learns he'll be fired and dies in a car crash the next day. October 1st, audio of Hollingsworth after the encounter with Greene leaks to the Associated Press.
And I beat the ever-living out of him, choked him and everything else trying to get him under control.
and then all of a sudden he just went limp.
Then leaders like Representative Edward Ted James put more pressure on state police.
The Black Caucus immediately sprung into action. We met with the governor, and the governor asked state police and the district attorney to allow the family and the attorneys to see a video. Now, that is unprecedented.
In October 2020, the governor, Greene's family, and some others view this horrific video, but it was kept from the public.
The state police didn't release it because the DA asked that it not be released before the investigation was concluded. And then subsequently, the U.S. Department of Justice initiated an investigation and made the same request.
In mid-October, changes within state police. Superintendent Kevin Reeves retires amid swirling controversies, and the governor appoints Colonel Lamar Davis. And in May of 2021, the bombshell. As the public learns what really happened to Ronald Greene and what was kept secret for 2 years.
Even though state police released its body camera footage, federal investigations have not concluded. The superintendent of state police has promised to, quote, follow the facts and hold his person.
Okay. It was so much. It was so much in that clip, y'all. It was so much. Okay, let me get started before I forget, because y'all know I don't write nothing down. I wrote a couple things down, but that's just the order of everything. But, okay, I don't want to forget. So, the first thing that stuck out in that video to me was the man that said that, the officer, that's Hollingsworth, he was the one that said that he choked him and beat the fucking living shit out of him or whatever, however he worded it. That was the officer that ironically that they told the doctor that the man got into the car, Ronald got into the car accident and died. This man gets into a single car crash accident hours after being told that he was fired. So sound like suicide to me. And y'all, they had a big old thing for him for his little going away. Where they think they going, where he think he's going to heaven. I don't know. I ain't the one to judge, so I don't know. But anyway, y'all, he gone. Okay, that was the one that made that statement. That he was telling his sergeant that. That's number one. Number two, the second thing that stuck out to me, the man that was in charge. Oh, I'm just finna retire. I'm done. God damn it. And guess who get promoted? One of us. One of us get promoted. Hi. And now he has to take over the case. But he knows that that was some dirty ass shit. He knows that. So hopefully he'll do his job. Don't take too long and lock their asses up. Because that's what they need. They need to get locked up. Every last one of them that was out there. Just sad. Sad, sad, sad. So, y'all, that concludes the Ronald Greene. That information, those videos, the body cam, that literally just came out 3 days ago, I believe it was. 3 or 4 days ago now. So that's straight hot on the press, y'all. Hot off the press. Hot off the press. So we finna go ahead. We finna get into our next story, you all. This is, I'm gonna get into this one next. And then we'll get into Rakia, okay? This right here was interesting to me. That's what I'm gonna call it, interesting. So I'm gonna start off with the news clip. And then I'm gonna show you all something else that I found. Y'all know I'm nosy. I'm nosy. When it comes to this news, I'm nosy. So I did some research, baby. And peep this out. Very sad.
It's been 2 years since Tanasia Barnes was found dead in her Decatur home. The toddler suffered abuse and neglect despite the involvement of Illinois' Department of Children and Family Services. Her death, a catalyst in launching our Project Illinois investigation into the department. News Channel 20's Jordan Elder joins us in studio now with how those who knew Tanasia are remembering her today.
Stacey, in the days leading up to her death, Tanasia Barnes was cold, dehydrated, and hungry. But those close to her say she was confident, bubbly, and radiant. And that's how they choose to remember her 2 years later.
You try to remember the good times, but when this day come around, it's like it just brings back everything from the day it actually happened.
Do you start feeling different as this day approaches every year?
Oh, yeah.
A spaghetti-loving, trampoline-jumping, happy toddler. That's how Tanasia's foster mother, Aisha Dean, remembers her Thursday, 2 years after the child's death.
Her smile. She had a smile that would light up the room wherever she was at.
That smile memorialized in photos, celebrated in balloon releases every few months.
Justice for Tanasia!
The child's mother, Tawanica Davis, is serving 20 years in prison for her murder. Davis's boyfriend, Anthony Myers, sentenced to 30 years last September. Myers is appealing that ruling. The trial's painting a picture of a brutal life for Tanasia. Cold, hungry, and neglected, despite DCFS involvement. But Dean says this year she wants the narrative to be about Tanasia's life instead of her death.
Clear. It should never be forgotten. She will always be remembered, and we'll remember the happy days and happy times that we had together.
Sad situation, y'all. Sad situation. You know, another child that was failed by her parents. I'm going to call it like it is. You don't like it, you don't like it. I don't care. Another 2-year-old child, toddler, that was failed by her parents. Now, her mother and her mother's boyfriend killed her. Poor baby was hungry, starving, kept in such a nasty place, may we add. But then I ran across something else. And I'm like, wait a minute. Could that be? And the show is shit stank, y'all. It was. It could be. So y'all, let me introduce y'all to Tanasia's father, biological father. And this was just happened recently, a few months ago, I think. But Tanasia died 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Now, the video that I'm finna show you is a little disturbing, just a little bit, you know, but you can feel Tanasia's father pain when this happened. So, here we go.
Distant, older proof.
No, bro. That's my daughter. What are y'all doing, bro? That's my daughter, bro. Give me that, bro. That's my daughter, bro. That's my daughter. What are y'all doing? No. Ask my daddy, bro. That's my daughter in there. What are y'all doing? No, bro. Y'all can't. Whoa, bro. That's my. She just passed 2. She just passed last year. You know me, bro. That's her, bro. No, bro. Let me talk to the bro. Please give me my daughter, bro. Put her in my hand, bro. Y'all are disrespectful, bro. Okay, bro. Can I please have my daughter?
This is the daughter's ashes that tested positive for that.
You got tested?
Yeah, I mean, you showed it to me. It looked blue, but I'll test it again.
Bro, give me my daughter, bro. That's something very important to me, bro. Give me my daughter, bro. Please, bro. Please, bro. Give me my daughter, please, bro. Bro, please, bro. That is something very important to me, bro. Please, bro.
To the back, right? It's in this, like...
He says an urn with his daughter and dead daughters. What is it?
We would show the test positive.
But it didn't. It looked like possibly Molly. I guess brown. Just kind of look like ashes. That guy knew it wasn't immediately.
The guy immediately got out and said that's the ashes of his granddaughter who died.
Yeah, I'm trying not to get tested again. I'm just gonna get back to it.
Yeah. Bro, can I please have my bullet, bro?
Hey, ask him if he wants it or if he wants your dad to have it.
Tell my dad to calm down, bro.
I'm gonna give it to your dad, all right?
Yeah, tell him to calm down, bro. Yeah, bro. Thank you, bro.
So the test kit, like, it did look like it field tested for like meth.
Bro, I knew that was impossible. That's not even my cousin, bro.
I know.
That's my daughter, bro.
I got you. I believe you, man. I'm gonna give it to your dad if you're cool with that.
Hey,
all right?
thank you, bro. Thank you so much.
He said it, but he said it's kind of a weird.
It didn't like. It wasn't bright blue.
It was like purple. He immediately said that's what it was, and it coincided with what he said.
Listen, I had none of that on my head.
So, well, I agree.
And
so
his daughter just died, so I was there when the coroner told me.
So just give it to Dad.
Hey, we're gonna go ahead and give this to you.
And I appreciate that. Thank you.
So, whenever we see like a container like that,
And I understand that, but come on, man. Come on. Common sense.
you don't have to open it up.
I'm not, but common sense, though, man. Come on.
I'm just telling you.
How can it be a bullet with this on the end of it? I mean,
No, I'm not saying it was a bullet. But I'm saying the substance. It looked similar to Molly. Okay, I'm just telling you.
okay.
All right.
All right. So, why is he still being detained?
Well, he had some stuff in the car he wasn't supposed to, man.
Okay.
All right.
That's all he's doing.
Yep.
So y'all.
All right, y'all. I mean, they literally said they tested it. Really. And it's ashes from the little baby to Nasia. Yeah, I found that shit, y'all. I found that. I did that. But yes, Tanasia ashes. He kept it in his car. He must ride with his baby, his guardian angel, with him in the council. They searched his car because they found 2 ounces of weed in his car. So they searched the car. They found that. They opened it up, and they thought it was meth, cocaine, and then they finally come up with Molly. But like I said, the crazy part was they said they tested it. And it was his baby ashes. This man could have been in prison right now. For cocaine. For Molly. For meth. They even said meth. Come on, officers. Y'all got to do better than this. In the way that boy screamed out and tried to grab it from him. And the officer knew him. The officer knew about his daughter's death. And the big fat officer gonna say, oh, I feel bad. And you just ought to feel bad. Fat ass. Okay. So sorry, y'all. That burns me up. You know, not doing your job. Do your job. Shoot. So, okay, so we got those 2 out the way. And now we're finna go into Rakia. And like I said, y'all, this right here is a little disturbing. I ain't gonna lie. Now, Ronald was disturbing too. But Rakia, this shit right here blew me the fuck away. I just could not imagine being in her shoes. We finna get started. And here we go. Which one we gonna start with first? Okay, right here.
Well, the video is jarring and has gone viral. Philadelphia police caught on camera during the unrest this week, beating a woman's car, removing her from it and separating her from children inside. There are a lot of questions about what happened before the recording began. What we do know, the commissioner confirmed there is an investigation underway. Eyewitness News reporter Kimberly Davis is at police headquarters tonight. Kimberly?
Yuki, it's not clear what led up to the moment. Her attorney says she was dragged out of her vehicle and beaten by Philadelphia police. But as a result of that video, an investigation is now underway.
Wow.
This is the video that has left one Philadelphia police officer on restricted duty and sparked an internal affairs investigation. Police have not given any details of what led up to the encounter, but Commissioner Danielle Outlaw had this to say.
With this case and any other allegations that have since arisen, we take all of this seriously, and I hope that these investigations, and my expectation is that these investigations are done in a fair and timely manner.
As police remain tight-lipped on the investigation, Rakia Young's lawyer is speaking out. Young's lawyer tells Eyewitness News she was on the way home from picking up her 16-year-old nephew with her 2-year-old son in her SUV when she was caught in the middle of protesters and police early Tuesday morning.
She approached the police line at 52nd Street. They ordered her to turn around and go the other way. So she complied and started to do a 3-point turn.
Attorney Kevin Mincy says that's when Philadelphia police swarmed the 28-year-old's vehicle and beating her vehicle with batons until they got her out.
Once they got Rakia onto the ground, they beat her with their batons, hands, feet, causing various injuries on Rakia's body, swelling to her face, her body.
We're told Young was then taken into custody and released without charges. The attorney tells us the family still has no idea where that SUV is located, and police have not told them how they can recover it. We're told Young's purse, wallet, and her 2-year-old's hearing aids are still inside that vehicle. That's the very latest live outside of police headquarters. I'm Kimberly Davis, CBS 3 Eyewitness News.
Kimberly, thank you.
Dirty, 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 dirty. A dirty game they must play. A dirty game they must play. No one knows what a car is, y'all. They don't know. They don't know what car. The car, they can't get the car back. A dirty game they play. But we ain't done yet. We ain't done yet, y'all. We ain't done. And we are having a little issues with my website right now. Some people can get on, some people can't. I don't know what the problem is, but something's wrong. So if you can get on, I'm going to have Fred put the lawyer's full interview on the website so you guys can see that. I did record it, but it is very long, so I'm not going to play it tonight. But I do want to play this next clip. Now, this clip right here gives a little bit more information, Josette. As we saw earlier, the media only wants to put out what they want to put out. And you got some people that would tell it all. So, I hope I'm not talking too loud, y'all. If I am, I'm sorry. I'm just a loud person. Anybody that know me know I'm just loud. But here we go. Let me play this for y'all. Then after this, I'm going to play the official video, the person that actually recorded it. I'm going to play their video where you can see it up closer. So here we go.
This now a total fabrication. Attorneys for a young Philly mom allegedly beaten by police in the hours after Walter Wallace's death say they will expose the truth. They are ripping the National Fraternal Order of Police as well for what they describe as propaganda on social media.
In this picture, we see a young boy in the arms of a Philadelphia police officer. It was taken in the overnight hours Wednesday morning. And we are now learning more about the moments that led up to that picture. NBC 10's Sydney Long has the latest.
With the heartwarming photo of a black toddler wrapped in the arms of a white female Philly cop, a Facebook post by the National Fraternal Order of Police that captured eyes across the nation. Before being taken down, it read in part, this child was lost during the violent riots in Philadelphia, wandering barefoot.
We're not going to let them get away with this. We're going to bring you the truth. We're going to expose this lie for what it is.
First posted Wednesday in the hours after Walter Wallace Jr. was killed by police, the caption went on to say,
"We are not your enemy. We are the thin blue line, and we are the only thing standing between order and anarchy."
Today, attorneys for 28-year-old Rakia Young, who is the boy's mother seen here with a bloody lip, say nothing could be further from the truth.
Officers just swarmed her car. and it put her in fear. She started to try and lock her door because she didn't know what was happening.
Young, they say, was at the center of this now viral cell phone video they played for us today.
It was tough to even count how many police officers were there.
Narrating that she had just picked up her teenage nephew from a friend's and on her normal route home encountered protesters and a line of police who ordered her out of the area.
She was attacked, brutalized, and embarrassed in a number of ways.
It's dark, but Young's attorney says police threw her to the ground, beating her and her nephew, the little boy, in the back seat. From a police van, Young used another woman's cell phone to dial her mom, who later found the grandson in the back of a police cruiser at 15th and JFK with glass in his car seat.
We do not expect to be flim-flammed or bamboozled about what did in fact occur on that day, because we have seen the video and we know ourselves that our eyes don't lie.
Philly Police Commissioner Danielle Outlaw says as soon as she saw the video, she launched an internal affairs investigation.
We've identified the officer responsible, or the one that we see using the strikes against the car, and that officer has since been placed on restricted duty pending the outcome of the investigation.
Also, just this afternoon, the National Fraternal Order of Police responded to NBC 10, admitting that after posting the photo, it learned of, quote, conflicting accounts of the circumstances under which the child came to be assisted by the officer, and immediately took the photo and caption down. Now, we want to let you know that a woman who was in the area actually shot that video and later posted it to Instagram. As for the investigation, Commissioner Outlaw says there's no definitive timeline as to exactly how soon it would be complete. But with this case, like other allegations, they take this extremely seriously. Reporting live from Philly Police Headquarters, I'm Sydney Long, NBC.
That was some slick ass shit. Woo! Thank God she's still alive. She is alive. The 16-year-old, he had a lot of bruises. He had some shattered bones and everything too, because they beat his ass too. But when I tell y'all, they are grimy. They sat there and took the 2-year-old out of the car. I'm going to show you the video. Now, all I'm going to say is on y'all eye vision to focus in, because it was too many police officers. It was a lot. They all swarmed her car, took her out the car, and was continuously beating her. But if you really, really closely pay attention, and I'll have Fred add that on there just as well. Y'all, we got some comments. Let me read these comments. So we got Trish saying, wow. All right, yeah, wow, that's crazy. Oh, that was the other one. Fat Funky is Julie crazy. Okay. Police are so disrespectful. Yes, MP. Yes, they are. Very disrespectful. What up, though? This is Rodney King all over. All over again. But with the female. With the female. Baby, if that was me, baby, if that was me, oh my goodness, I would have been so hysterical. And I'm just being honest. With 100. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I'd be fighting back, kicking that ass. I would have beat all that ass. I don't know what I would have done in that situation. I just don't know. All this girl did was she didn't look at the news. Excuse me. She didn't look at the news. She didn't know what was going on. She got a phone call from her nephew, 16 years old. He asked, can she come pick him up? She get her 2-year-old. They go pick up her nephew. On the way home, they had to go that route. And they stopped her and told her to turn around. And as she was turning around, they just came out of nowhere. Literally. And swarmed her car. And start using the things, them pole things. I forgot what she just called them. But we call them nigga beaters. Start beating the windows with that until they start breaking the window because she locked the doors. She was scared. I would have been scared too. So she locked the doors. And they just started beating and beating and beating. And they finally broke the glass to where they can get the door unlocked, dragged her out. And you can see an officer literally pick up the child and they pass the child off. And the officer got the baby. And they literally sat there and made it seem, lied again, just like they lied in Ronald Greene. Sat there and lied and said that this baby was wandering around the street with no shoes on during a riot. And that's why this officer got a picture holding this baby. A dirty game they play, baby. A dirty, dirty game. Dirty as fuck. Do you hear me? That's wrong. And then took the picture and the caption down. I'm speechless. I am speechless right now. So I'm going to play this next clip, y'all. If y'all got some more comments about what we just saw, go ahead and put it in the chat. I'll go ahead and I'll put it up on the screen while I play this next clip. This is another clip from Malcolm X, and I hope you guys like it.
In order for you and me to devise some kind of method or strategy to offset some of the events or a repetition of the events that have taken place here in Los Angeles recently, we have to go to the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough. And it is because of our effort toward getting straight to the root that people oftentimes think we're dealing in hate. We are oppressed. We are exploited. We are downtrodden. We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights. So the only way we're going to get some of this oppression and exploitation away from us or aside from us is come together against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you? And I, for one, as a Muslim, believe that the white man is intelligent enough. If he were made to realize how black people really feel and how fed up we are without that old compromise and sweet talk. Stop sweet talking it. Tell him how you feel. Tell him what kind of hell you've been catching, and let him know that if he's not ready to clean his house up, if he's not ready to clean his house up, he shouldn't have a house. It should catch on fire and burn down.
All right. Y'all heard him yourself. Brother Malcolm. Brother Malcolm. When I tell y'all I was on a spiritual warfare, as some people will call it, this morning, looking at Malcolm X and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. As you get older, I'm going to say that, as you get older and you get wiser, you start appreciating these videos and understanding these videos of Dr. Martin Luther King and Brother Malcolm X. And I'm just being honest. Hey, Audra. Hey, Trish. Hey, cuz. You start appreciating these videos and you start understanding them. When I tell you, I have never sat like I did today, listening to these videos of Malcolm X. And all I could do was just sit back and wow on how the things that was going on back then, way back then, it's still going on now. Still going on now. It's sad. It's sad. And we thought, and I'm not going to say, I don't want to say it in the wrong way, but I'm just going to say it. We thought we done got past a whole bunch of stuff. We got cell phones. We got iPads. We go and get any job, damn near the job we want. Now, promotion, I don't know. You know, we still working on that and stuff. We're still working on that. But, you know, a lot of things that they couldn't do back then, we can do now. But regardless, to me, it's like we gave y'all an inch. We just gave y'all an inch. Us black people was just given an inch. And that's how I feel. That's it. We think we good. We ain't good. Until all these police officers and this brutality stop, we ain't good. Until we could get those positions that we know we deserve, we ain't good. Until we could go in those neighborhoods, baby, that they trying to keep us out of, we ain't good. I just, and you know, I sit back and I wonder, is change ever gonna come? I'm just saying. I wonder if change is ever going to come. I pray that it comes for my kids when they get grown. They don't have to deal with being scared to walk out the house, being scared to raise black sons, being scared to be a black man in America. I mean, I pray that they don't have to go through that. And with that being said, June, hold on. Let me go to my calendar right quick. June 4th. That's next Friday. Next Friday, June 4th. We are having, not we, Peachy Tyme. I am having a show with men. All men. I'm gonna be the only girl. But all men, and they all have a black son. And they all are black men with a black son. And they're going to be here on Peachy Tyme panel, letting us know what it's like as a father to raise a black son in America, and also what it was like for them to be a black man in America. Oh yeah, we getting it in next Friday. Okay? Now it is time for our motivation. Now our motivation is a little different. It's a little different. And after the motivation, I'm gonna just go straight into my my outro with my babies. So y'all won't see me no more until Friday, because I'm going straight into it. This motivation to me is self-explanatory. It's another Malcolm X with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. mixed in. And when I tell you this was so powerful to me, now I did do a little chop, cut. But it all turned out wonderful. I enjoyed it. I've watched it a couple times. They're speaking something that's very, very powerful. At the very end, before the outro comes on, I want you guys to read what I wrote. Please read what I wrote. It's very important. One thing that y'all may not know about me, my friends know, and my mama and my daddy know, my husband know. I'm also a writer. Now, I don't know about music because I can't never put it together to get the music. But I'm a writer. So I put a little quote up. And I want you guys to stay all the way to the end of this clip. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to pull up. There we go. Trying to pull up my Facebook so I can make sure that I see everybody that's in there. But thank you all. Thank you all for joining me tonight. I will see you all on Friday. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this video. Go on YouTube and make sure you subscribe to YouTube. Make sure you follow me on the Mrs. 2007 / Peachy Tyme. You can put either or in IG. Go ahead and follow me. I got all type of clips up here. Everything is up there. So follow me on there. Also, if you could get into my website, please try and get into the website. You can see my blog. Also, my t-shirts. There you go. Yeah, this is one of my other t-shirts. My t-shirts will be on the website. We're just trying to get it together and see what the issue is right now. Then we will have the t-shirts, the water bottles, and also the masks on the website, Peachy Tyme. So I hope you all get it. I really, really do. My Cash App is where it go? Right there. Right there. If you want to give a small donation, a big donation, it'll be most appreciative. It's basically going towards, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it the wrong one. Whoa, Peachy Tyme. So I really appreciate it. I love you all. I love you. I love you. I love you. And please stick around. Listen to this video. And my kids is going to the park. Hubby took them to the park. So I might just do an after show. After show. I think I'm going to do that. And we're going to come. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do an after show. And I'm going to come right back after my babies say bye to y'all. Okay? So don't leave. Because I'm going to do an after show. About 5-10 minutes, though. All right. Here we go.
Nothing will they ever do. They will always talk it, but they won't practice it. And with the Supreme Court, if the NAACP can tell me that they want a desegregation decision for me 10 years ago, but yet the schools haven't been desegregated, as I say, this is a victory with no victory. It's a victory that you can talk about, but it's a victory you can't show me. So if you represent the NAACP and you are telling me about this great victory you won for me, when I look at you, I have to conclude that either you have been duped yourself or else you are trying to dupe me.
I feel that killing is a very tragic way to deal with any social problem. There is no violent solution to the problem that the Negro confronts in this country, and this is why I have constantly said that riots are socially destructive and self-defeating. After all, the Negro ends up on the losing end. We can't win a violent revolution. Most of the persons killed in riots are Negroes themselves. The persons who end up not being able to get milk for their children are Negroes because things where they have to live are destroyed.
Can be solved. First, the white man and the black man have to be able to sit down at the same table. The white man has to feel free to speak his mind without hurting the feelings of that Negro. And the so-called Negro has to feel free to speak his mind without hurting the feelings of the white man. Then they can bring the issues that are under the rug out on top of the table and take an intelligent approach to get the problem solved. That's the only way that they'll ever do it.
I don't think, and I'm sure, that nothing can be accomplished by violence. It only leads to new and more complex social problems. I think it is unfortunate for the black nationalist movement. I think it is unfortunate for the health of our nation.
I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
Thank you for watching my mommy show.
But I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I really do. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That right there was just, I don't know. It was a lot. It was a lot. From Ronald Greene to the police is just downright lying. For those that didn't watch the beginning of the show, Ronald Greene is a black man, and he actually ran a stoplight in Louisiana. This happened 2 years ago in 2019. He ran a stoplight. It kept on going. Police came up behind him. He was like, oh, they ain't finna get me. He kept it moving. They started chasing him. We didn't see the chase. We don't know what happened with the chase. But by the time we did see the body cam, they had this man on the ground. They pulled him out the car. We saw them pull him out the car, tasing him. Then had him on the ground, shackled him, and had him handcuffed. He was screaming, I'm sorry. I'm your brother. They dragged him face down by his shackles, beat him, tased him some more, had their foot all in his back. Just horrible. But they went and dropped him off at the hospital and lied and said he got into a car accident. And they left. And 2 years later, here they go. 2 years later, here they come with the video ready for it to be released. And you know why? Because one of the reporters decided that they're going to do a little bit extra digging. And that's what they did. And that's what they found. And now it's being brought out to the forefront. Thank you, Jose. Thank you. You hanging out for the after party. Hey. But yes, they killed him. Sad. Then I showed you guys Rakia Young. She was a young lady that went just to go pick up her nephew, 16-year-old nephew. Had a 2-year-old son in the car and went to go pick him up, wasn't watching the news and didn't know that a riot was going on, nothing. And she ended up having to drive that way to get home or to get back to drop him off or whatever, and ran into the riot. The officers told her to turn around. And as she was turning around, all of these officers swarmed her car. Swarmed the car. And you know, y'all already know you got to go back. Hey, mama. Y'all got to go back and look at the video and y'all will see how they swarmed her car and beat her. We call it the nigga stick, but they called it something else. But that's what we call it. Beat her, beat the 16-year-old, and then took the baby out the car. And I don't even think I showed that. I didn't even show that. I can show that right now. Hey, look what y'all get at the after party. Let me go ahead and show that right quick. This is the actual clip that when somebody was recording with their phone. So you can see up close on this one. Here we go.
Wow. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, damn. They bust up all the windows in that joint. Was there kids in there? Somebody just hopped out with a baby. Come on. They just bust up all the windows. Oh my gosh. I'm shook.
Did y'all see that? Did y'all see them get that baby out the car? And then they turned around and lied and said that the baby was just wandering. Josette, I don't know if you're still in here, but Josette, did you see that? They had the baby in their hands and literally lied and said the baby was wandering with no shoes on in the middle of a riot. And somebody took a picture of the officer, the woman officer, probably the one that they handed the baby off to. And she was holding the baby. And somebody snapped the picture. And the police department allegedly reposted it. Oh, there goes Josette. Josette said, yeah, I seen it. I know you seen that, Josette. But yes. And they posted that picture and made it seem like this baby was just wandering around. And this woman, police officer, just happened to find him and was just, she rescued him. She rescued him. And they took the baby out the damn car the whole time. That's sad. That is so sad that they would do something like that. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. But you guys, I just wanted to briefly go over that. We still got 10 people in here. You know, Josette been hanging with me since the beginning of the show. So, Josette, I'm going to play 2 clips. And then after these 2 clips, because we still got a lot of people in here, and they may not have seen these 2 clips, Josette verified that my Malcolm X clip that I played was something that was very important. So I'm going to play that, and I'm going to play our talent for tonight that some people have missed. So I'm going to play the talent first, and then we'll go into the Malcolm X, and then I'm going to be out this joint. All right, here we go.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoice rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing, 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 sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
All right. Now, Josette, you remember in the beginning of the show, I did say that, you know, everything came together. And that it was a purpose and a reason for me playing that young man as our talent for the night. And I just felt like it just all came together. I don't know. But when I saw it, I was like, yes, this is it. I got to play it. So now we're finna go into our Malcolm X clip, which is what I played at the beginning of the show. So if you didn't see it at the beginning of the show, you're in luck. You get to see it now. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and end the show. I'm going to play my babies again. But thank you guys so much for joining the after show. I really appreciate it. Maybe we'll keep it going. Who knows? Maybe we'll play the after show again. Maybe once a week, 3 times a week. I don't know. And also, don't forget to check me out on his 92.3. The real definition of internet radio. Saturdays, every Saturday from 3 to 4 p.m. Even this Saturday. Holiday weekend. Hey. And I got 2 special guests. Not this Saturday, but the next Saturday. And then the following Saturday after that. So anybody that need an interview, that would like for me to interview them, you want to turn up, have fun, you want some serious questions, I don't know, you let me know. But go ahead, hit me up at peachytyme.com. Go to contact me. It's right there. And if you can't get into my website, please hit me up on my email, directly through my email, peachytyme at gmail.com. Yes, peachytyme at gmail.com. So here we go. We're going to end it tonight. I love you all. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you so much for the continuous support. It's been rough, but when I tell you, baby, I enjoy every bit of it. I enjoy it all. And I couldn't be more happier right now. I really couldn't. And Wednesdays is my best day. Peachy News. I love Peachy News. And here we go. Bye.
The white man pays Reverend Martin Luther King, subsidizes Reverend Martin Luther King, so that Reverend Martin Luther King can continue to teach the Negroes to be defenseless. That's what you mean by nonviolence. Be defenseless. Be defenseless in the face of one of the most cruel beasts that has ever taken the people into captivity. That's this American white man. And they have proved it throughout the country by the police dogs and the police clubs. 100 years ago, they used to put on a white sheet and use a bloodhound against Negroes. Today, they have taken off the white sheet and put on police uniforms. They've traded in the bloodhounds for police dogs, and they're still doing the same thing.